They just drove away and left him on the street with no vital signs. Left my son dead on the street.
The incident began at about 1:45 in the morning of October 7th at Fish Shoppers Drug Mart at Woodbine and O'Connor. Matthew Dreamer and his friend got into some kind of argument in the back parking lot with two people in a car. It ended about 20 minutes later, a few blocks from here, with Matthew lying lifeless on the roadway.
I want these people to see him. I want people to recognize the car. I want people to turn these people in. And I want to face them in court. I want to see them. I want to see who killed my son.
Police now believe they know the make and model of the SUV, a 2007 to 2012 dark blue or black Hyundai Santa Fe, possibly with front-end damage. They are wanted for first-degree murder.
Police say the suspects are described as two white males, both about 5'10" to 5'11", with short or balding hair. One has a round face and is in his 20s. If you have any information, you're asked to call police.
Contractors have hit a roadblock between the Ford government and the province's public high school teachers, which is why they're now on track to join elementary school teachers in a Work to Rule campaign set to begin in less than a week. Here's 680's Momin Qureshi with more from Queen's Park.
It's a card we knew teachers have in their hand, and on Tuesday, it will be played when public high school and elementary school teachers launch a Work to Rule campaign that OSSTF President Harvey Bishop says will be limited.
Very limited, will have no impact on students' learning conditions whatsoever.
Pulling back from EQAO testing and after-school staff meetings, but things like field trips and clubs are not yet affected. About an hour before this announcement, Education Minister Stephen Lecce making an announcement of his own that the province is making another concession, cutting back on the number of online classes high school students need to take from 4 to 2.
Today's announcement will demonstrate that we are reasonable and focused on keeping kids in class.
At Queen's Park, I'm Momin Qureshi.
Prosecutors say a former Toronto pastor convicted in the death of his pregnant wife should spend 13 to 15 years behind bars. Attorneys made their sentencing submissions earlier today in the case of Philip Grandine, who was found guilty of manslaughter in February in connection with the death of his wife, Anna Grandine. She was 29 years old and 20 weeks pregnant when she drowned in the bathtub at the couple's home in 2011. Tests later revealed she had a sedative in her blood despite not having been prescribed it. Prosecutors argued Philip secretly gave his wife the drug so he could carry on an affair. Defense lawyers argued she took the medication herself and either slipped and drowned in the tub or took her own life. They're asking for a sentence of 5 to 7 years.
More from police, who announced that today's board meeting, they're dedicating more officers to stopping dangerous drivers. But safety advocates say the new measures don't go far enough. 680's Mark Douglas with more from police headquarters.
They're called the Vision Zero Enforcement Teams. As early as January, teams of 3 officers plus a supervisor will come in on their days off, volunteering to work dedicated traffic safety patrols wherever they're needed. Safety advocate and collision survivor Jessica Speaker still has concerns.
This is not enough, but at least it's something. We can't cover the entire city of Toronto with 3 officers working overtime only on weekdays and only between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Mayor John Tory says these teams are only one aspect of a package deal of safety improvements.
We are at present changing the design of quite a few intersections across the city right now. We are deploying photo radar just as soon as the province says we can.
Red light camera at this
that will be very, very
took
soon
it out.
from police
They left the
headquarters.
sign that says it's there, but they took it out.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll let you know what's happening with the prices at the pumps at midnight. 680 News Time, 10:39.
Still counting the days until Black Friday? Why wait? 2001 Audio Video's Black Friday sale is on now. All locations are jam-packed with wall-to-wall specials. Up to 80% off. Beat the lineups for amazing door crashers. Many items below cost from the home entertainment experts. And at the guaranteed lowest Black Friday prices. 2001
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro says the price of gas is going up 2 cents at midnight to just under $1.17 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 10:40.
It's hard to argue with smart investments like owning property. This winter, take your vacation a step further and consider purchasing that ski condo you've always dreamt of. Whether it's investing in property or increasing the value of your own home with a renovation, put your money in the right places. If you'd like $20, $30, or even $300,000, Capital Direct can help. Call Capital Direct at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL and see what's available for you. CapitalDirect.ca.
The Well, Toronto's most exclusive new community, sets the stage for incredible experiences. A unique mix of shops, restaurants, fresh food markets, workspaces, and residences. Located on Wellington, this luxury boutique condo rises 14 stories and overlooks a new grand promenade below. Tridell's signature series is destined to become the ultimate in exclusivity in King West. Tridell, built for life.
680 News Time, 10:41. Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here is Carling Donahue.
This report is brought to you by Best Buy. Right now, construction starting to pick up just a little bit as we head into the later hours of the evening. Eastbound on the 401 at Kipling we have a left lane shut down for some construction. The ramps to Kiel are currently closed coming off of the eastbound 401. Approaching Nielsen in the express, a right lane blocked off, and then at Holt Road, a left lane is closed. Normally in that area, we do see some delays. Right now, it is still smooth sailing, so that's good news. We'll keep you updated on that. Westbound on the 401, lots happening around Markham Road. So in the express, we have 2 right lanes closed. In the collectors, a left lane closed, and then we've got the collector to express transfer completely shut down at this time. At Brimley, the transfer from express to collector is now completely closed. They had it open with just some construction earlier, but they have shut it down. At Young in the collectors, 2 left lanes are blocked off. At Avenue Road, the express to collector transfer, that is closed off as well for some construction. And then we do have in the collectors at Avenue Road, 2 right lanes blocked off. There's a number of ramp closures coming onto the westbound 401 at this time. Avenue, Allen, Dufferin, and Kiel ramps all shut down coming onto the highway. And then there's no access to the southbound Allen coming off of the westbound 401. If you're on the southbound 400 at Dunlop, a right lane blocked off. Northbound 427 ramp to westbound 401, that has a left lane closed. We're still seeing minor delays on the ramp itself. If you're Toronto bound QEW over the Burlington Skyway, 2 right lanes blocked off. And then eastbound QEW at Ford Drive, 2 right lanes are closed for some maintenance work. We're just seeing some delays approaching Ford Drive. It's not a long stretch there. The Ford Drive ramps to the eastbound QEW are also closed off at this time. Southbound 427 ramp to Highway 7 shut down for maintenance. Holiday excitement starts at Best Buy, and at today's VIP sale, you get an early shot at hundreds of Black Friday deals, including one-day-only exclusives. Your next report coming up at 10:51 with your forecast, Natasha Ramsahai.
Showers will be ending here just after midnight. Winds are going to be gusty up to 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. So don't be alarmed if you're sleeping. It may wake you up out of your sleep. We've got some winds continuing, though, through that morning commute, and mainly cloudy skies to start off the day, even lake effect showers mixed with wet flurries. So leave some extra time for your commute if you're driving in from the north in the morning. The winds gradually easing late in the afternoon. That will shut off the lake effect precipitation, bring in a little bit more sunshine. Temperature steady near 2 or 3 degrees through the day. Saturday morning, it's going to feel like -7 as you wake up, but mainly sunny and a high near 6 degrees. Tonight, we are down to a low of 3 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, light rain and 8 degrees. Same conditions at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time, 10:44.
Tanya likes to avoid risks. She's never made a souffle for fear that it won't rise. She won't text her friends because they might not text her back. But she does like investing with HSBC's new GIC offer because there's no risk at all. It's guaranteed to give her 2.15% interest over 12 months. A year from now, she'll spend her returns on some neutral colored furniture. Get 2.15% per annum on a 12-month non-redeemable GIC until December 31st, 2019. Terms apply. Learn more at hsbc.ca/GIC.
Fits in the tantrum. All the Feels Winter Tour 2020. Saturday, February 22nd, 9 p.m. Niagara Falls View Casino. Tickets are on sale now at fallsviewcasinoresort.com. Ticketmaster in the venue box office. New album, All the Fears, out now. Don't miss Fits in the Tantrum live.
What did I get from reading?
All News Radio, 680 News.
We've got some light drizzle. It's 8 degrees.
This guy was already
like
sentenced to
4 in
15
downtown
years.
Toronto. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Asher
The
Brock.
mistrial prosecutor for barred from the rifle that he intended to kill his wife.
Fix the fortunes
What
of
the
a
fuck do you try
franchise
him
that's
for
failed
next?
to meet its sky-high expectations. So far, so good for the blue and white. And we're leading the Coyotes after 2 periods. Brent Gumming will have more on the game in moments. We're following breaking news from Brampton, where a late-night stabbing is set sent to Maine
And a
Hospital.
convenience
It
store got
happened
robbed.
just before 10 near Main and Queen Streets. Peel police say the victim suffered serious injuries but is expected to survive. They are now investigating the circumstances that led to the incident. In Ontario's high school teachers will join their elementary school counterparts in launching a Work to Rule campaign on Tuesday. The union representing thousands of public high school teachers in the province says job action will affect government or school board initiatives only and not student learning, meaning at this point sports teams and field trips will not be affected. Time now for 680 Sports, and from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, we check in with Brent Cumming. Brent?
Well, Asher, plenty of firsts for the Leafs tonight. Sheldon Keefe is coaching his first NHL game. Tyson Barrie has his first goal as a Leaf, and in the second period.
And then here's Pierre Engvall breaking in on a breakaway and a goal. He scores! Pierre Engvall, his first National Hockey League goal, and a horrible celebration as he ends up on the seat of his pants.
The Leafs lead the Coyotes 2-0 heading into the third. Watch on Sportsnet or listen on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Week 12 in the NFL starting up in Houston. The Texans have a 20-17 lead on the Colts. That's in the fourth quarter. And Canada is moving on to the semifinals at the Davis Cup thanks to a 2-1 win over Australia. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time 1047.
This Movember, here's to the straggly mustaches, the lopsided ones, the oddly sexy ones, the itchy, patchy, raggedy ones, the peach fuzz ones. And hey, I look good with this ones. The scruffy ones, the black, blonde, red, and gray ones, the ones grown by Dad, the ones grown for Dad. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Donate now at Movember.com.
Ryan, are you adding another log to the fire?
Yeah, there's nothing like the sweet scent of crackling wood.
Yeah, it's just getting really hot in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm dying.
Then why don't we move to the basement? It's cooler in there.
Okay. Wow, you finished your basement.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Right. It's okay to be proud of your renos. From Saturday to Monday at Rona, it's pre-Black Friday. Save 15% when you spend $100 or more. Plus, if you find an appliance at a lower price, we'll match it and take off 10%. Conditions apply.
680 News Time 1048. In international news, a top Democratic lawmaker is comparing U.S. President Donald Trump's dealings with Ukraine to that of former President Richard Nixon during the Watergate scandal.
Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff asking Republicans how they can support a president who witnesses say put Ukraine at risk in order to get that country to investigate a political rival.
The withholding of military aid to an ally at war. That is beyond anything Nixon did.
Republicans say that since Ukraine eventually received its aid after the whistleblower made the report, the president did nothing wrong. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
In the nation's capital, Western alienation was front and center as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau held his first cabinet meeting with his new inner circle and sat down for some conversations with the mayors of some of the largest cities in Western Canada. Our Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney has more.
With frustrations growing in the prairies, there may be an olive branch from the Trudeau government. Calgary Mayor Naheed Nenshi says during his meeting with the Prime Minister, he received positive signs about laws on oil tankers off the BC coast and environmental assessments for major infrastructure projects like pipelines.
That he was open to improving that legislation.
After the cabinet meeting, new Environment Minister John Wilkinson clarifies they will not be reopening the laws, but will be looking at different ways to implement them.
We've always said we're open to conversations with stakeholders across the country as to how that's going to be done in the most effective way.
Former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien made a surprise appearance, telling reporters he's confident Justin Trudeau will make the government work without Alberta or Saskatchewan MPs in his cabinet.
Now, the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister of all the Canadians.
Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
And
Thank
in
you.
Rome,
That
some
fucking solved
police
everything.
officers got caught cold-handed.
3 police officers here in Rome are accused of tipping off the owners of restaurants and ice cream parlors to imminent health inspections in return for bribes of pasta and ice cream.
Wow.
The gelato graft allegedly occurred here in the heart of the ancient city, the Spanish Steps, as well as around the famed Trevi Fountain and other historic sites. The collusion emerged as part of a larger investigation into the alleged infiltration of southern Italian mafias into the restaurant business here in Rome. Megan
really?
Williams, ABC
Really?
News, Rome.
In 60 seconds,
Yeah,
a check of
wow,
the roads
really?
in your extended forecast.
I never
680
expected
Sun
that.
1050.
As headmaster of
Did
St.
they
Andrews
say-
College in Aurora,
Like they weren't,
I'm often
like,
asked
did
by
they just
parents why
suggest
our school
Italians
is great
things
for
on
their son.
restaurants?
Like in elementary, you know you're a part of something truly
What the
amazing. There are
fuck?
tons of arts and extracurricular activities.
71 teams, 21 sports. There are so many opportunities to become a leader. 100% of our students are accepted to university.
The teachers sincerely care. They push you to do your best.
And Brothers for Life.
Experience for yourself what a St. Andrews College day or boarding program can offer your son. Join us for our open house on December 3rd.
Details at sac.on.ca.
The new Style Encore in Mississauga is now buying gently used name brand women's items such as coats, boots, jeans, sweaters, designer handbags, and more, and paying cash on the spot all day, every day. No appointment needed. Style Encore buys all seasons, all year long, and is stocking up for their grand opening coming soon. If you have current styles from hot brands, Style Encore Mississauga wants to pay you cash on the spot on the corner of Huron, Ontario and Bristol Road near the Value Village.
680 News Time 1051. Checking your drive is Carling Donahue.
This report brought to you by the 407 ETR. Westbound 401 right now, a little bit more construction than usual. We have at Markham Road and the Express, 2 right lanes blocked off. Markham Road and the Collectors, a left lane closed, and then we've got the Collector to Express transfer blocked off for construction at this time. Brimley, the transfer from Express to Collector is completely closed off as well. And then at Young and the Collectors, 2 left lanes are blocked for maintenance. Avenue Road, Express to Collector transfer closed off at this time. And then Avenue Road and the Collectors, you have 2 right lanes blocked as well. A number of ramp closures coming onto the westbound 401 at Avenue, Allen, Dufferin, and Kiel, all directions. We don't have access to the westbound 401, so north and southbound for all of those ramps, all access is closed. There's also no access to southbound Allen coming off of the westbound 401 at this time. Eastbound 401 at Kipling, we have a left lane closed. The ramps to Kiel are shut down coming off the highway. Approaching Nielsen and the Express, a right lane closed, and then at Holt Road, a left lane is blocked off. No delays at this time. Southbound 400 at Dunlop, a right lane blocked off. Northbound 427 ramp to westbound 401. A left lane is closed off there, and we're just seeing some minor delays on the ramp itself. If you're on the northbound 410 at the 401 and the Express, the left lane is blocked off. Southbound on the 427, no access to Highway 7. Toronto bound QEW over the Burlington Skyway, 2 right lanes are closed for maintenance. And then eastbound QEW at Ford Drive, we do have a few areas of delays there just because there's 2 right lanes closed off for some construction. So approaching Ford Drive, pretty much to just approaching Winston Churchill Boulevard, you're going to be caught in some volume or in some construction related delays. 407 ETR is your fast, safe, and reliable choice, saving drivers over 30 million hours each year so you can spend more time with the people that matter most. Your next report, 1101, with your forecast, Natasha Ramsahai.
Temperatures are on the rise. We will actually peak near 9 or 10 degrees at midnight, but then falling rapidly back down to 3 degrees by the time you wake up in the morning. It's going to be rainy this evening and then windy overnight, up to 60 to 70 kilometers per hour out of the west-northwest, and that will likely bring in some lake effect showers mixed with wet flurries for that morning commute. Leave some extra time if you're driving in from York, Durham, Caledon, anywhere through the traditional snow belts to the north. And then the afternoon will be sunnier. The winds will ease late in the day. Temperatures sit near 3 degrees. Saturday, it's going to be mainly sunny with a high of 6 degrees, but we do increase the cloud late in the day. That will lead to some showers overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. Also watch for a rain-snow mix-up over higher elevations early Sunday. Otherwise, on and off showers with a high near 5 degrees. Tonight, we are down to a low of 3 degrees.
Downtown Toronto, we've got light rain at 8 degrees. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time 1054.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Walmart.
Walmart knows diabetes. If you have questions about managing your blood sugar, risk factors, or diabetes medications, ask your Walmart pharmacist. This message is brought to you by Santos.
Coming up at 11 o'clock, the Sheldon Keefe era has begun for the Maple Leafs, but is the coaching change enough to turn the team around? Our Stuart McGinn will have more on what management is expecting from the team under the new bench boss.
This is 680 News.
I don't need to tell you about the obstacles on your way to finding a mortgage. Maybe you're a first-time home buyer, self-employed, or uncommissioned. Remember the name Duga. Jaspreet Duga and his team have options. If you're a first-time buyer, self-employed, or uncommissioned, Jaspreet Duga works for you, not the lenders. So you get the best terms and rates. Get started today at dugamortgages.ca. That's DHUGGA mortgages.ca. Tear down those obstacles. License 12880. 680 News. We know when.
as quickly as possible.
If we're off by more than 3 degrees, we'll announce a lucky winner of our growing cash jackpot.
Now, get more chances to win each month and vacation better with Sunwing.
Enter in November for your chance to win an all-inclusive vacation for 2 to the Blue Bay Grand Esmeralda. Enjoy the lavish amenities and tropical gardens of this resort just outside of Playa del Carmen.
With 6 gourmet a la carte restaurants and multiple pools around the resort.
Enter the 680 News weather guarantee with Sunwing and the Blue Bay Grand Esmeralda.
At 680news.com.
Business is next.
Why did I wait so long? Our patients tell us that all the time at the Herzig Eye Institute. I'm Cherry Tab, co-founder of the Herzig Eye Institute. And Dr. Herzig and I want to ask you, why have you waited so long? You could finally be free from glasses, contacts, even reading glasses. Google high-definition vision. Learn about Herzig. Call us for a consultation.
That's why I don't need the
There's no
voice thingy on,
charge.
'cause that would've made it
Afterwards, you'll
happen,
say, why did I wait so long? Look after yourself. Promise me.
How does Sugar Plum Fairy transform Canada's Wonderland into the world of Winterfest?
We need lights, millions of them. A gigantic Christmas tree and Snoopy and the Peanuts gang. And ice skating and carolers spreading cheer. And more lights and a heap of live shows and family rides. With lights!
Hurry, the magic only lasts on the world of Canada's Wonderland's Winterfest. Select dates through December 31st.
Winterfest opens this Friday. Get unlimited visits when you buy a 2020 Go Pass now at Canada'sWonderland.com.
Now the business report with Richard Southern.
Good evening. It's a phrase that's really caught on as of late, and now it's in the middle of a trademark application war. We're talking about OK Boomer, which has been used by millennials to kind of make fun of older people for being out of touch. It's essentially an eye-roll response to somebody who is a little clueless about new ideas or current realities. The popular phrase has led now to a number of trademark applications, one of which is from Fox Television. They have put in an application saying that they are planning to start a television series titled OK Boomer. As well, a Pittsburgh-based company has filed an application for OK Boomer decals and stickers, and a New York man has filed one for a brand of OK Boomer clothing. So all that is in the pipeline. On to stocks now, and they were not so okay today. We saw some losses. The Dow fell 54 points to 27,766. S&P was down 4 points, while the NASDAQ fell 20. Investors took in some mixed news regarding U.S.-China trade relations. As well, the U.S. Senate and House passed a Hong Kong human rights bill signed by Trump, perhaps putting further pressure on U.S.-China relations. We had shares in TD Ameritrade surging more than 18% on reports that Charles Schwab may be interested in buying it. The TSX was down just by 6 points to 16,999. Gold stocks took a bit of a hit as the price for the yellow metal fell almost $10 to 1,463 U.S. dollars the ounce. Cannabis stocks, though, rocketed higher amid another push in the states to try and legalize the drug on a federal level. We had Aurora up to $4.14, Kronos up to $10.11. Canopy Growth closing at $27.03 per share. Canadian dollar 75.31 cents US. Top stories next on 680 News.
Important announcement. Toys R Us is launching Black Friday early. Find hundreds of the hottest toys at 50% off, including select toys from Hot Wheels, LOL, Monopoly, Fisher-Price, and more. This weekend only, select Nerf blasters and Lego building sets have been slashed to half price. Plus, you can buy one, get one 50% off on all Frozen toys and all Play-Doh. Hurry, these deals won't last. Shop in-store or online at toysrus.ca and babiesrus.ca.
Aaron Park. Hey Lisa, why did you guys decide to buy an Aaron Park Toyota?
Well, we had a budget in mind, and they helped us decide the type of vehicle that we wanted, and they didn't force us into anything. We both ended up getting the cars that we love.
Would you come back?
Absolutely. We've recommended Aaron Park to family members, friends, coworkers.
Aaron Park. It's time to Toyota. Get 0.49% finance rates up to 48 months on 2020 Corollas, all with Toyota Safety Sense.
Aaron Park.
Checking some regional weather conditions this hour. If you are in the Hamilton area, it's currently overcast and 10 degrees. Richmond Hill overcast and 7. Uxbridge overcast and 5. And in downtown Toronto, it is 8 degrees with some light drizzle. Michael Gibbons is the evening show editor. Zahir Hashimi is at the audio desk. This is CFTR 680 News at 11 o'clock.
And all the sewer gas.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Scott Burnett and Asher Roth.
Good evening. This is Thursday, November 21st.
Here's what's making news right now.
Leafs fans, meet your new coach.
Really excited to be here.
The hope of getting back to winning rests on the shoulders of Sheldon Keefe. A heartbroken mother hoping a grisly video of her son's death in a hit and run in East York last month will lead to the person who was behind the wheel.
Peel police are on the hunt for suspects after a stabbing near Main and Queen in Brampton.
If that brand new Presto card you got this week didn't work, you're not alone. Metrolink says hundreds of faulty cards are in the process of being replaced. There's plenty of firsts for the Leafs tonight as they take a lead into the third period in Arizona, while the Colts visit the Texans in the NFL's Thursday Nighter. Sports at 15.
The ongoing CN rail strike is causing a dangerous shortage of propane in certain areas. TSX down 6, Dow falls 54, business at 26.
This is news time, 11:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones at the traffic center. Carly Donahue.
This report brought to you by the Grand Hotel. The majority of the construction this evening is on the westbound 401. It's not really impacting your drive all that much, however. Just the ramp closures, really. So Markham Road and the Express, 2 right lanes blocked off, and the Collector's a left lane closed, and then we do have the Collector 2 Express transfer blocked off at this time as well. At Brimley, the transfer from Express to Collector is shut down at this time. At Yonge and the Collector's, 2 left lanes blocked off. At Avenue Road, the Express to Collector transfer is closed for some construction as well. And then taking a look at the ramp closures we've got headed on to the westbound 401. No access to the highway via Avenue Road, Allen, Dufferin, or Keel. All those ramps are shut down at this time. There's also no access from the westbound 401 to the southbound Allen. If you're on the northbound 404, the ramps to 16th Avenue have a left lane closed. That's both of those ramps there. Southbound 400 at Dunlop, a right lane blocked off. No delays there. Northbound 427 ramp to westbound 401. We have a left lane closed. The delays have cleared up, which is good. Northbound 410 at the 401 and the Express, a left lane is shut down as well. And then taking a look eastbound QEW at Ford Drive, 2 right lanes are closed. We are still seeing some delays there, but they have decreased by a lot. It's really just a small patch approaching Ford Drive there where we're seeing some volume there. And then we have at the Ford Drive ramps to the eastbound QEW, they're closed. East of Dixie to the 427, a left lane closed through that stretch. If you're Toronto bound QEW over the Burlington Skyway, 2 right lanes are blocked off. Southbound 427 ramp to Highway 7, that is shut down at this time as well. Book your next meeting, event, or stay at the luxurious Grand Hotel Toronto and receive Aeroplan miles. Visit grandhoteltoronto.com because life is grand. Your next report coming up at 11:11 with your forecast. Here is Natasha Ramsahai.
Light rain tapering off just after midnight. The winds are going to be picking up tonight, gusts of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour out of the west, especially as we approach midnight and in through the morning commute. You're standing out at the bus stop, hold on to your hats and leave some extra time if you're driving in from the north tomorrow for lake effect showers, but mixed with wet flurries at times. As the wind eases late in the day, we will shut off that lake effect precipitation, bring out a little bit more sunshine, and temperatures steady near 3 degrees. Tonight we are down to a low of 3 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, it is 8 degrees with some light drizzle. It feels like 5 with the wind. We have similar conditions at Pearson Airport with an identical temperature. 680 News Time, 11:04.
Right now, getting one of a 3-year contract for new Leafs coach Sheldon Keefe. Seems to be agreeing with the team. They're up 3-0 in the third period right now against the Coyotes in Arizona. It all comes just a day after head coach Mike Babcock was shown the door after 5 years at the helm.
Now, before the game, Keefe was focusing on the positives in a season that has sorely lacked them. 680 Stuart McGinn has more.
Talk about getting thrown into the fire. He got the job yesterday, took part in his first morning skate, and now his team is already in action against Arizona. So it's just like that. The Leafs close the door on Mike Babcock and open the new one for Sheldon Keefe.
I recognize the responsibility and the privilege, and I'm thrilled to have a chance to work with this group and be a part of it.
Keefe admitting the team's got a lot of work to do and says the focus is on renewing the spirit of the group as they try to dig themselves out of a 6-game losing streak. Kyle Dubas spoke about the coaching change and what it means for the guys on the ice.
They're excited. It's a fresh challenge, and I think they also view it that it's their time to also step up.
Leafs management not outright saying that Mike Babcock had lost the room
room, but with words like frustration, team spirit, and a loss of belief, you can put those pieces together. I'm Stuart McGinn, 680 News Time, 11:05. Breaking news from Brampton this hour, one man is taken to hospital after being stabbed. It happened around 10 o'clock tonight at Main Street South and Manwood Drive south of Queen. Field police tell 680 News the victim was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No word on any suspects, but stay with 680 News for the latest.
Toronto police are releasing a second video hoping to learn more about a hit and run that killed an East York teen more than a month ago. It was back on October 7th. Officers were called to the Woodbine and O'Connor area. A 16-year-old boy had been struck by a vehicle. He was rushed to hospital where he later died. Investigators are continuing to look for the SUV that was seen fleeing the area. It's believed to be a dark blue or black 2007 to 2012 Hyundai Santa Fe, which may have front-end damage. Police are warning you. The video they posted is graphic in nature. You can find the link to that video at 680news.com or on the 680 app.
Starting in the new year, a Toronto Police Vision Zero enforcement team will hit city streets focusing on high collision locations, community safety zones, and high-speed areas.
It's going to be small teams of 3 officers and a supervisor going out on dedicated traffic safety patrols wherever they're needed in Toronto. Collision survivor turned safety advocate Jessica Speaker says it's a start, but it's not enough.
This enforcement should not be considered an extra duty performed by police. It is one of the most basic components of any municipal police force.
Police Chief Mark Saunders responds.
But I'm not going to say, and I think it's unfair to say, this many officers equals that. We can enforce till the cows come home. Things are still going to happen.
Mayor John Tory says these small teams will be part of a package deal of traffic safety changes, including what he expects to be the soon-to-be approved photo radar at police headquarters.
They could see somebody get stabbed in the neck 16 times, and when the cops asked what they saw, they say nothing.
Extracurriculars, they will still receive their report cards, but while students won't yet be directly affected, public school teachers are now set to begin a work to rule campaign in less than a week. 680's Woman Qureshi has the latest from Queen's Park.
We knew it was a possibility, and as of Tuesday, it will be a reality. Both public elementary and high school teachers will begin a Work to Rule campaign. Harvey Bishop is the president of the union that represents public high school teachers.
Has no effect on student learning. We won't participate in after-school unpaid staff meetings. We won't provide comments on report cards, but we'll still submit marks.
At this point, things like sports teams and field trips are not affected. Education Minister Stephen Lecce announcing the province is making another concession, cutting the number of online classes students have to take from 4 to 2.
And I'm asking for them to reconsider these steps. Children should not have to pay the price for the difference in the table. I believe there is a pathway to get a deal.
At Queen's Park, I'm Omen Qureshi.
680 News Time, 11:08. A court has struck down a provincial government order that made some post-secondary student fees optional. Last December, the Ford government put into effect what it called the Student Choice Initiative. The Canadian Federation of Students and the York Federation of Students filed a legal challenge, arguing the move was a politically motivated attack on student unions. The group said the change threatened student-led programs such as clubs, campus newspapers, food banks, and other support services. In its unanimous ruling, the court said the government decision to enact the policy was beyond its legislative authority.
The province is creating a council on provincial-federal relations, which will be led by Premier Doug Ford. He says the team will work with federal counterparts on priorities such as infrastructure, healthcare, and economic growth.
What does that mean, man?
Tomorrow, I'll travel to Ottawa to meet with Prime Minister Trudeau and deliver a simple message. Prime Minister, we look forward to working with you.
Priorities will include pushing for increased funding through Canada Health transfers, removing red tape, and attracting international investment to the province. Ford says he's heading to Parliament Hill tomorrow to meet with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check in the price of the pumps.
680 News Time, 11:09.
This news segment is brought to you by OFX Global Money Transfers.
680 News, Toronto.
OFX are global money transfer specialists, helping individuals and businesses move money in 55 currencies. OFX is on a mission to lead the age of borderless money by combining a streamlined digital experience, 24/7 human support, and competitive rates, whether you are sending money to family abroad, paying for overseas purchases, or just want to hang on to more of your money as it travels around the world. Learn more at OFX.com or simply download the OFX app. It's how the world moves money.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Pro predicting the price at the pumps will go up 2 cents at midnight to $1.16.9 cents a liter. In 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News time, 11:10.
All we said was William Ashley and...
Finally here! I love the William Ashley Warehouse Sale. 20 departments, 25,000 square feet. It's Toronto's most iconic warehouse sale.
I can't see it myself.
You can't have this much fun shopping online. The 44th annual William Ashley Warehouse Sale returns with up to 90% off tableware, kitchenware, and home decor by all the famous brands you know and love from William Ashley. Sale on now. 111 Credit Road, Highway 400 in Langstaff.
It's that time of year again. Black Friday. A small amount of time to get big deals on stuff you want, like our best-selling SUV, the Ford Escape. Your Ford store has you covered. Right now, get up to $5,500 in Black Friday rebates on select new 2019 Escape models. Plus, no extra charge winter tires, rims, and sensors. But like most Black Friday deals, it's only on for a limited time. Black Friday at Ford ends November 27th. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca. 680 News time at 11:11. Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
This report brought to you by Marks. Right now on the westbound 401 at Markham Road and the Express, you've got 2 right lanes shut down for some maintenance. In the collectors at Markham Road, a left lane closed, and then we have the Collector 2 Express transfer shut down at this time as well. Heading over to Brimley, the transfer from Express to Collector is closed off at this time for some construction. Young and the Collectors, 2 left lanes blocked off. At Avenue Road, the Express to Collector transfer is closed off as well. And then we have a number of ramp closures as well coming on to the westbound 401. There's no access from north and southbound Avenue, Allen, Dufferin, or Keele. All of those ramps have been closed coming onto the westbound 401, and then you can also not access the southbound Allen coming off the highway. Eastbound 401 at Kipling, a left lane closed off. The ramps to Keele are shut down at this time. Approaching Nielsen and the Express, a right lane closed, and then at Holt Road, we've got just 1 left lane closed off for some maintenance. There are no delays in that Durham region area right now, though, which is some good news because normally it gets pretty jammed up there. If you're on the northbound 404, the ramps to 16th Avenue have a left lane closed off on them. Northbound 427, ramp to westbound 401 with a left lane shut down. There are no delays at this time. Toronto-bound QEW over the Burlington Skyway, 2 right lanes blocked off. Eastbound QEW, Ford Drive, 2 right lanes closed. The delays have cleared as well there, so that is also a piece of good news. There's still no access to the eastbound QEW from Ford Drive, however. And then southbound 427 ramp to Highway 7, that is still blocked off as well. At Marks, Black Friday starts early this Friday and Saturday. Save 30 to 70% off the regular prices store-wide. Visit Marks this weekend. Door crasher prices as marked. Your next report, 11:21 with your forecast, Natasha Ramsey. Hi.
Temperatures dropping to a low of 3 degrees tonight after we peak at around 9 or 10 degrees. That's around midnight. And once we fall to 3 degrees, we are going to sit there all day long tomorrow. Now, this rain will taper off just after midnight, but the winds are going to be the next bigger story here. Out of the west, gusting upwards of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour tonight and tomorrow morning. In fact, the first half of tomorrow is windy, and that could drive in some lake effect showers mixed with wet flurries to the north to start off Friday. More sun through the afternoon with that. Late day temperatures sitting right around 2 or 3 degrees. Saturday morning's wind chill -7. It'll be mainly sunny, increasing late day cloud with a high near 6. Tonight we are down to a low of 3 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, we've got a light rain still falling 8 degrees. Same conditions at Pearson Airport. Metrolinx apologizing for sending out hundreds of defective Presto cards to riders this week. The Toronto Star reports the 450 cards prompted no response on transit readers when they tapped. Metrolinx says the cards were all ordered online and delivered to customers after November 18th. The agency finding out about the problem yesterday. Metrolinx though says it is already emailed, or rather mailed, new cards, which should arrive in the mail tomorrow. In 60 seconds, we'll recap your top stories and see how the links are doing in Arizona.
They say? Keep $2 in the fucking card at all times. What can they say?
I literally grew up in the steakhouse business.
That's their
Started
fault,
washing
though.
dishes and have done every
You
job
guys
in
are
the restaurant.
bastards. You gotta pay $6 for the car and then put money
the
on it.
founder of Roost Chris Steakhouse.
That's a
I
pay you
called
a
her
fee to get on public
and I
transit.
promise you, my friend, that our steak broiled at
That
1800
photograph is
degrees
horrible.
and served sizzling is the best steak that you'll ever have. And don't forget, as Lana says, come hungry, darling.
Is your uniform supplier letting you down? Missing deadlines? Out of stock? I'm Jeff Farrar, president of Entropy.com. We do logoed uniforms and we do them quickly. 5-day order completion guaranteed. We also create free uniform e-stores to get your employees fitted faster. All this with no inventory, no contracts, and no administration requirements. Let us help you rethink your uniform program. Visit us at Entropy.com. That's ENTRIPY.com.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Rain 8 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Scott Burnett. Thanks for joining us. Here are the top stories this hour. The first game of a 3-year deal for new head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Sheldon Keefe, is kicked off in Arizona. The big move by Maple Leafs brass seems to be working with the Buds up 3-0 halfway through the third period tonight against the Coyotes. Details coming up in sports straight ahead. The mother of a 16-year-old boy who was targeted in a hit run in East York last month, hoping a video of his death may help jog the memory of any witnesses. The video not for the faint of heart. You can see it on the 680 app
Homicide
or at
55,
680news.com. Negotiations continue in Ontario's public high school teachers, adding another chip to the file, saying they'll begin work to rule action on Tuesday alongside public elementary teachers. 680 News Time, 11:15. That means it's time for 680 Sports. And Sportsnet 5-9 The Fan. Let's check in with Brett Gunning. Brett.
Thank you, Scott. First, it was Tyson Barrie getting his first goal as a Leaf. Then Pierre Engvall scored his first in the NHL. In the third period, the Leafs have added to their lead.
Leafs have had 54 attempts at goal. Coyotes, 38. Mikheyev with a backhand that bounces in front. They
You
score!
keep tracking different statistics and all
Austin Matthews in front of the net gets a bit of a gift.
That made it 3-0. That is where things still stand with about 7 minutes left. You can watch on Sportsnet or listen on Sportsnet 5-9 The Fan. DeAndre Hopkins doing most of the damage for the Texans tonight. He has a pair of touchdowns as they lead the Colts 20-17. Very late in the fourth quarter, it looks like they're on the verge of taking a lead in the AFC South. And Canada moves on to the semifinals of the Davis Cup after a 2-1 win over Australia. Sports 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 5-9 The Fan.
680 News Time, 11:07.
This is your breaking news station, 680 News.
You make that 11:17.
It only takes one person to change the world.
I know where
McLean's Power
there's
of
a
One
store
podcast brings you the gripping stories of 6 unsung heroes who made history. From the World War II double agent who saved David
It doesn't matter
to the greatest financial
some other
whistleblower of all
cities'
time.
teams
The
have. There's
special
only
6
two
episode
hats, two
series
types of
produced
hats
in
you can buy.
partnership
The
with
one,
Frequency
I don't know why
Podcast
did I
Network
sell it.
is brought to you by the latest season of Tom Clancy's Jack
For
Ryan.
like $5 if you get some out of town US
Subscribe to the
teams
Power of
hat
One for
and
free
like
at
$20
frequencypodcastnetwork.com
or
or
some
wherever you
shit
get
for
your
the Toronto
podcasts.
hat. So how dedicated, hardcore are you?
Infinity Dealers has
Oh fuck, I left almost on my Toronto hat. Oh, this guy's son of a $30, what a good thing.
If you're shopping or need to service your vehicle, go where the customers are pleased and the vehicles are plentiful. Alta Infinity Woodbridge. 400 Infinity
little steal, dude. Some random fucking dude.
Canada's #1 volume Infinity Group. Go to
It's not associated with anything. It's just a team.
Part of the Zakin Auto Group.
680 News Time, 11:18. Premier Doug Ford and the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs condemning violent protests that interrupted an event at York University last night. Toronto police say Israeli soldiers were scheduled to talk at a lecture at a very hall yesterday evening. That's when several protesters showed up, sparking a tense confrontation. In a post on Twitter, Premier Ford says there is no place for racism and hatred in Ontario, and that he and his caucus stand with the students affected at York University. No arrests were made, but several people were escorted off the property. Testimony in the U.S. congressional impeachment inquiry has undercut a main line of U.S. President Donald Trump's defense.
Former National Security Council advisor Fiona Hill says EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland was operating outside official diplomatic channels in Ukraine and was involved in a domestic political errand for President Trump.
I did say to him, Ambassador Sondland, Gordon, I think this is all going to blow up, and here we are.
Ohio Republican Jim Jordan says the testimony doesn't change the facts.
Facts are on the president's side. The truth is on the president's
present size.
Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff says he could resist no more going down the path of impeachment.
This present believes he is above the law, beyond accountability.
Ed Donahue, Washington.
680 News Time, 11:19. Police in the GTA are once again reminding you when you should and should not be calling 911 after a recent call to the emergency line in Peel region.
Okay, say it again.
Sorry, so you're in a taxi cab and you think you're going to be late.
I want to hear the
your
first
train
30
ride
seconds
at Union
too.
Station? Yeah, and so what would you like an officer to do?
The woman wondering
Well,
if police
turn
could
on the
offer
lights.
emergency
What the fuck?
rides so she
Probably
wouldn't
like a
miss her
pretty young white
train.
girl, right?
Peel Police Constable Sarah Patton says there is a reason why they release these kinds of calls.
We are doing it to educate the public that
these are not proper ways to use 911.
People reacting to the call on social media as well. Among the tweets, how does a grown-up person not know what 911 is actually for? It boggles the mind. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones and...
The band Coldplay wants to make touring more environmentally friendly.
ABC's Jason Ingleson with more on that coming up. 680 News Time, 11:20.
I'm here with Bill Coy of Coy Brothers, and it may be fall, but there's definitely some winter weather going on in Canada.
The snow's flying early.
Bad news for us, good news for the guys plowing snow.
That's why they should get the SnowX 8100 power plow. It's perfectly suited for 3/4 and 1 ton pickups, and it carries 30% more snow than a regular straight blade.
This plow sounds like a wow, Bill.
With the push of a button, it goes from 8 feet to 10 feet.
That's the SnowX 8100 at Coy Brothers.
KOOYBROS.com.
And the lighting will be quite right, no matter what I do to get it in the filter phone. Oh, this thing takes pretty good pictures for a pretty little $80 phone. Shit, I had it. Somebody asked me like I was doing this on purpose. The fuck is wrong with
680 News Time, 11:21.
How much that would cost? I want you to put a little pattern of different colors of skin over here.
Right now, we have a few things happening on the major routes. So if you're traveling westbound on the 401, when you hit Markham Road and McAllen, that area, we do have some construction going on in both Express and Collectors, so it is slowing things down just a little bit through that stretch into the Collectors, actually. We do have in Markham Road in the Express, the 2 right lanes closed, in the Collectors, the left lane closed, and then the Markham Road Collector 2 Express transfer shut down. So that's kind of forcing people into the Collectors, and it's just a little bit slow going from approaching Markham Road all the way out to just past Birchmount. So it's a little bit of a slow going drive through that stretch. And then we're also seeing some delays at Brimley. The transfer from Express to Collector is shut down at this time. So that is causing just a little bit of a delay at this time. And then we also do have further down at Avenue Road, it seems they've shut down the Collector lane. So it's just a little stretch from pretty much Avenue Road to just past Bathurst. It's really not a long stretch of Collector closure, but it is causing some delays. So just beware of that. If you're traveling that way, you're going to run into that as well. We do have some ramp closures from Avenue, Allen, Dufferin, and Keele. There's no access onto the westbound 401, and then westbound 401, ramp to southbound Allen is shut down at this time as well. Eastbound 401, ramps to Keele are closed off at this time. If you're on the eastbound QEW at Fort Drive, 2 right lanes are closed. That's causing minor delays. The Fort Drive ramps to the highway are shut down, and then southbound 427 ramp to Highway 7, that is closed off as well. At Seneca's open house, you'll meet more than students, professors, and the campus. You'll meet your future too. Join them on November 23rd. Your next report, 11:31, with your forecast. Here's Natasha Ramza. Hi.
A few millimeters of rain falling this evening and ending just past midnight, but the wind is going to be picking up. You're going to feel it out of the west, gusting upwards of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. Still very gusty through the first half of Friday, and that same wind will likely bring in some lake effect showers mixed with flurries to the north end of the GTA, so that's through the morning commute. Temperatures rising to about 9 or 10 degrees by midnight, but then falling back to 3 degrees by morning, and we will sit at 2-3 degrees throughout the day. We'll have more sunshine late Friday. Saturday, mainly sunny and the high of 6 degrees, and then overnight into Sunday morning, watching for some showers. Could be mixing with some wet snow, especially over higher elevations through Sunday morning, and then on and off showers throughout the afternoon. Sunday's high 5 degrees. Tonight, we are dropping to a low of 3 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, some light drizzle. It's 8 degrees, feeling like 4 with the wind, and at Pearson Airport, similar conditions, 9 degrees, feeling like 6.
Here's to spending holiday time with family and not letting financial stress get in the way. Here's to getting the loan you need and taking control of your finances. At Easy Financial, we can help when banks aren't an option this holiday season with loans up to $35,000. Plus, from November 18th to 23rd, get no interest on the last 6 months of your loan. Apply online in minutes at easyfinancial.com or at over 300 locations. Conditions apply. Easy Financial. Better tomorrows.
When news breaks, the 680 News Cruiser is there, covering the story, live from the scene.
24/7 in your community.
The 680 News Cruiser.
Powered by Don Valley North Toyota.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
This new segment brought to you by Menkes No Tour for one of the world's biggest bands in support of their latest album so they can go greener. Coldplay's new album drops Friday, but the band won't be touring to support it. The reason frontman Chris Martin says touring is just really bad for the environment.
The hardest thing is the flying side of things.
He tells the BBC they're going to take the next year or so to work out the details.
Our dream is to have a show with no single-use plastic, to have it be largely solar-powered.
And he says it's important
not to be too overzealous in criticizing others, because everyone will catch up if you prove that it's easy to do it the right way.
He says he wants their next tour to not only be sustainable, but also beneficial to the environment. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
What, just because that's where the reporters are? Is that where he fucking lives? Is that for real? Motherfuckers, eh? I'm too high to hear that shit right now, man. Oh, it can't last that long, can it?
Quadrille Community. Register at festivalsouthvmc.com.
Now is your best chance to experience the iconic performance and head-turning design of the Range Rover Sport or the Range Rover Velar. Discover unbelievable offers on our 2019 models. For a limited time, enjoy savings up to $4,000 on remaining 2019 Range Rover Velar models. Additional savings are also available on demonstrator vehicles. Visit your Greater Toronto Area Land Rover authorized retailer for details. Offers end December 2nd. Land Rover. Above and beyond.
Richard, good evening. The CN rail strike has stretched into another day, and things are starting to get a little bit serious as regards this work disruption. Quebec Premier Francois Legault says his province is facing a crisis due to the CN strike. He says the province is about to run out of propane in less than 5 days if it doesn't get any new rail shipments. It's a big problem, he says, because it could wreak havoc on hospitals, nursing homes, and farms who rely on propane for medical scans and for heating. CN stock was down 50 cents today, $19.95. Broader market's a little bit lower. The TSX fell 6 points to 16,999. The Dow was down 54 to 27,766. Well, the S&P fell 4 points and the Nasdaq down 20. These exchanges, though, very close to their record highs. The TSX is actually up 18.7% on the year, and the S&P is up 23% year to date. And Greg Taylor with Burst Investments thinks we could see a further rally into the end of the year.
The momentum's there. Certainly from the U.S. political point of view, Trump's definitely trying to get the market higher. We've got a 180-degree change from the U.S. central banks that are definitely more dovish and supportive of higher markets versus last year. And it does feel like there's at least a bit of a hint that the tensions between China and the U.S. and trade are getting a little better.
And the price for gold down today to $1,464 US the ounce. Well, if you've been to New York, you know hotels are expensive, but nothing like this. There's a new Park Hyatt New York hotel suite opening on the 59th floor. $50,000 a night, but there's a 7-night minimum. It'll run you $350K. Yeah, it's swanky. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, private elevator, private dining room, complimentary helicopter, transfers a butler, you name it. But $350K for a hotel ain't cheap. Canadian dollar up 75.29 cents US. Top stories next on 680 News.
Black Friday happens all of Everlong and now Batches, Mississauga, and Rexdale Hyundai. And here's Hyundai's hottest lineup sales event. Now getting you ready for winter. It's a $500 winter tire credit on select models. And keeping your wallet happy, it's don't pay for 90 days on all new models. And last but not least, it's a special Black Friday in-store offer.
See store for details.
Catch all the excitement of your favorite slots and table games at Casino Woodbine. Sign up for a free One Rewards membership today, and you could be eligible to get your first $250 on us. Made a list. We've added new Toronto shuttle bus routes that will take you right to our front doors. Must be 19 plus. Rewards membership required. If you gamble, play smart. Casino Woodbine. Toronto's home for gaming and entertainment.
It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast, brought to you by Walmart.
Walmart's Black Friday early deals are here. Save $100 on an RCA 40-inch 1080p TV. Now, only while quantities last at Walmart.
Vancouver overcast and 5 degrees when you wake up. In Calgary, clear and 1 degree. In Montreal, mostly cloudy and -3. This is CFTR 680 News at 11:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Here are Scott Burnett and Asher Rock.
Good evening. This is Thursday, the 21st of November.
Here's what's making news this.
So far, so good for the Maple Leafs. A victorious start to the Sheldon Keefe area with a shutout victory over the Coyotes.
Police west of the city searching for suspects after a late-night stabbing in Brampton.
As of Tuesday, public elementary and high school teachers are launching a limited work to rule campaign as contract talks with the province become a little testy.
The Toronto Police Services Board says yes to a few more dedicated traffic enforcement officers. Advocates, though, say
not good enough.
Tyson Barrie gets on the board for the Leafs in Sheldon Keefe's first game as head coach, while Canada is moving on at the Davis Cup. Sports at 45.
A little bit of rating for stocks. TSX full 6 down 54. Macy's department store in with soft earnings. Another sign of trouble when it comes to malls. Business at 56.
11:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. And with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports, here's Carling Donahue.
This report brought to you by Sisley for Honda. Right now, if you're traveling on the westbound 401 at Markham Road in the Express, we have 2 right lanes shut down. And then in the Collectors, there's no access to the Express at this time. They've shut down that transfer a little bit further west, just west of McCowan in the Collectors. It is a left lane that's closed. So we're seeing some delays right now from Brimley to Birchmount in the Collectors. It's getting a little bit better, but there's definitely a slowdown there. The Brimley transfer from Express to Collector, that is shut down as well. And then at Avenue Road to the 400, all Collector lanes are in the process of being shut down at this time. That obviously includes the ramps coming onto the highway between that stretch. So Avenue, Allen, Dufferin, and Keel, there's no access to the highway at this time. And then the ramp to the southbound Allen, that is blocked off as well. Eastbound on the 401, there's no access to Keel coming off the highway. If you're on the northbound 404, the ramps to 16th Avenue have a left lane shut down. Northbound 427 ramp to westbound 401, a left lane closed. Northbound 410 at the 401 in the Express, you have 2 left lanes shut down. Southbound 427 ramp to Highway 7 is blocked off. And then eastbound QEW at Ford Drive, 2 right lanes are closed. Seeing on and off delays in that area there. The Ford Drive ramps to the highway are also blocked off as well. Sisley Honda wants your family to love your car. Drop by 88 Steeles Avenue, just west of Yonge. Sisley Honda, they're family driven. Your next report, 11:41, and with your forecast, Natasha Ramza. High.
Light rain tapers off just after midnight. Temperatures rising to about 9 or 10 degrees near midnight, and then falling back to 3 by the time you wake up in the morning. Watch for the wind. It'll be gusting upwards of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour tonight and tomorrow morning. In fact, the first